Good evening. I'm Jessica Moore.
And I'm Christine Johnson. We begin here at 5 today with the first alert weather day. The radar, as you can see behind us, is lit up and the atmosphere is prime for severe storms.
States of emergency have been declared for New York and New Jersey. The city is also under a state of emergency, and one look outside explains why. Rescues are underway in Queens, where drivers are abandoning their vehicles and scrambling to safety. A live look right now at the LIE at Bell Boulevard in Queens, where cars are at a standstill.
And then rainfall is starting to pool on roads across New Jersey as well, even spilling onto the sidewalks. This is in Plainfield, an area that has already been hard hit this summer. Firefighters are already patrolling as well, checking on businesses amid the flood threat. We have team coverage here for you today at 5. Nick Calloway is standing by in Plainfield. First, let's get a better handle on the current conditions and what else we need to prepare for. Lonnie with our first alert forecast.
Okay, this has been a day that's really served up almost everything, right? Except for heat, right? The heat has not been crazy today. It kind of got broke by all the showers and the storms out there. But you have some questions on your mind. I'm willing to bet you this is what you're wondering. Where's the worst activity right now? Where is it going? And more important than anything else, when is this over? So let's get right to it. Where's the worst? The worst is going to be where you see this blue shaded area. Kind of like it's the New York bite, okay? Anywhere shaded in blue, that's a flash flood warning. This is not a watch, okay? Everybody is under a flood watch until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But right now, it's happening right here. Wherever you see that blue shaded area, flooding is taking place. It's happened so quickly. We've had some rainfall rates out there at 2 to 3 inches per hour. A lot of lightning associated with these storms. There have been all sorts of storm reports. Every one of those icons, which if you can look close, it's a house with like water all around it. So it's either flooding into a home, it's a flooding on a street. It's just been too much, too fast. And we've seen so much of it. It's like you ladies were talking about. This summer, it's been like the summer of flooding, and especially in portions of central and northern New Jersey. Well, right now, sure enough, I talk about that New York bite. That's where we find the toughest weather. Interesting to point out, this line was up in Orange County earlier today. Orange County, you had flood warnings out there. Well, now there's a second line that has developed from Pike County into Sullivan, into Ulster County. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And that's why we've got to be on alert right through the nighttime hours. I'll try to show you when everything is over. But first, I want to go into where the worst of it is. We got a strong cell right here, right around Middletown, pushing out towards Sandy Hook. You're in it as well. Matt's at the helm for me right now. Matt, what I would like you to do, I want you to track the trailing edge. So the numbers that come up here, I want you to keep this in mind. I'm not telling you when the storm gets to you. I'm telling you when it's going to take a little bit of a break, when it kind of shifts gears, it downshifts, it gets less heavy out there. And I'm talking Hazlitt about 511. You take a little sigh, right, a little breather right there. Middletown 519, Rumson around 532. We've got lots of cells like this. You can zoom in real tight. Middletown, like I said, you're in it right now, but in a short period of time, you will be out of it. Sandy Hook, you know, that's going to be a while there, and it will make its push over towards Brooklyn. You get out to the island, we see it training right along the shoreline communities. Training means this is all following in the same direction. One cell followed by another cell could get some sizable readings out there. We didn't think we were going to see the big numbers out east, but this could prove us wrong in that regard. The fact is everybody has got to be prepared for the possibility of flooding as you go through the overnight hours into tomorrow. But watch this. The newest models are suggesting put it into motion. Bear with me. This is 7:30. You're not done. But by midnight, it looks much better. I'm not saying it's done, but it looks better. I would keep the flood threat in until the morning hours because there could be a lag effect sometimes. But there's at least a little bit of hope out there for the rest of this day. You get into tomorrow, as you progress, it gets better, and there's great weather for the weekend, but sit tight on all that. Right now, ladies, why don't you take it from here?
We're glad you're at the helm, Lonnie. Thank you.
Let's go to Queens now, where traffic is at a standstill and cars are literally stuck in water.
Allie Bauman hit the road, found major flooding on the Clearview Expressway. She's live now in Auburndale. Allie, what's the situation like where you are?
Hi, Jessica and Christine. We just got here literally 30 seconds ago. We are on the overpass by Northern Boulevard over the Clearview Expressway. I want to give you a live look right now. Believe it or not, traffic is actually moving here on the Clearview, but you can see the muddy street that is below as these cars are making their way. It is incredible that traffic's able to move because I want to show you the video and the images that we have from just this afternoon of vehicles stuck exactly where we are here right by Northern Boulevard, where this afternoon the NYPD had to rescue rescue at least 3 people that were in their vehicle as it was submerged in these flooded waters here, including a tractor trailer. That's how deep the water and flooding was just a short time ago this afternoon in this location, and now the water has really just gone down and traffic is back open and moving again. But a really dangerous situation out here today. Those 3 people were told were not injured and were able to be rescued and be okay. We had images, I don't know what you can see on your screen right now, but images of people sitting on their cars waiting to be rescued from the waters in the cars that were just, completely stuck as the flash flooding came in so quickly. We were pretty much driving Northern Boulevard all the way to get here this afternoon, and it was just relentless rain. We saw thunder and lightning. Now the rain is still pretty heavy, but not quite as severe as we had seen just a short time ago. And as you can see, that flash flooding, it came in quickly, but now it is rescinding quickly and traffic is back up and moving. I don't know if you can get a live picture back out here on the Clearview. It's going to definitely take a long time for some of the debris that's on the streets to be cleared out. But in the meantime, the lanes back open. Incredibly, the rescues were done with that. As far as we know, no reported injuries. As the latest here from Auburndale in Queens, Jessica and Christine, back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you. Wow.
Good to hear that there are potentially no injuries there, but also a prime example of just how quickly conditions can change in just seconds. Joining us now on the phone is Mayor Eric Adams. Mayor, thanks for taking the time. Let's get right to it. Which areas are causing the most concerns right now?
As you just mentioned, out in Queens, we're seeing flooding along the Clearview Expressway, and as well out in Staten Island, we're seeing flooding in those areas as well. And we deployed our FDNY high water units to go out, and you see there's several rescues thus far that are taking place. We're not seeing any loss of life, but we're letting New Yorkers know that there is severe weather watch, severe weather storm right now, and we have put in place an state of emergency for the New York City area.
Mayor, let's talk about that emergency response. How quickly can the plan be activated, and exactly what does it entail?
And it's really activated immediately because many of the agencies that are involved, like FDNY, NYPD, DEP, and others, they have several drills throughout the year, and they make sure that they're ready to kick in gear automatically. Everyone knows what needs to be done. And what it does for the most part, it takes the bureaucracy out of trying to execute purchasing power, making sure that we could have the teams deployed where they need to be without going through very stringent procedures to do so.
But Mayor, specifically, what about alerting your residents here in the city when dangerous conditions are imminent? Has the city improved its alert and communication system? Is it faster? Is it more effective?
We learned a lot from earlier storms back in 2020 and 21, particularly those that live in basement apartments. And we have created mappings to know where these areas are. And we have been notifying New Yorkers for several days about this upcoming storm. And we have always encouraged New Yorkers to sign on to Notify NYC so they can get up-to-date information, send out advisories and alerts. So there's a continuous process of notifying before the storm and notifying during the storm.
And just quickly, before we let you go, let's talk about the subway concerns. We all remember what happened at 28th Street a few weeks ago. I know you're not necessarily responsible for the MTA, but the subways in your city are a big part of your life. Is the MTA equipped to handle flooding better than they have been in the past?
Yes, and you're right. It is in the city, and so we will never shun the responsibility of making sure New Yorkers can commute. The flooding, anytime you have a system that's below grade, like our subway system, that's where water is going to go to. We reached out to the MTA, our extreme weather coordinator, and stated that is there anything that we can do that they need our help with, such as manpower, etc. And they said no, not at this time. So you're going to have flooding in the subway system because it's low grade, but we want to get it out as quick as possible so the commute can normalize as quick as possible.
Mayor Eric Adams, we know you've had a very busy day and a trying few days here this week. Thank you for joining us here at 5.
Thank you. Take care.
There are also flooding concerns tonight in New Jersey.
Absolutely. Parts of that state hit hard by flash flooding just 2 weeks ago. Nick Calloway in North Plainfield, one of those areas already hit badly this summer. He's got the latest conditions from there. Nick, how are things looking?
Well, this afternoon we have seen some very heavy rain at times, and we have seen some isolated cases of flash flooding. At the moment, as you can see, the rain has let up, and that is great news for all the people who live in low-lying areas like this one, and especially people who have been dealing with flooding earlier this summer. Lightning flashed and thunder cracked loudly in downtown Plainfield around 2 p.m. About the same time, we saw flash flooding on Richmond and East 3rd. City Hall closed at 1:30, giving employees time to get home before the worst of the storm.
We are expecting the worst, hoping for the best. We're asking residents to stay indoors, stay in their homes.
The area has already been through 2 major storms this July. A total of 4 people died in those storms in Plainfield alone. Next door in North Plainfield, the trauma from those previous storms is still fresh.
The majority of the water breached this doorway here.
Dr. Mark Silberman's office was swamped with more than a foot of water earlier this month. They're still cleaning up from the last storm. Manager Caitlin Anders spent Thursday preparing for more rain.
You panic. You go, oh God, this is going to happen again. And you don't want it because it's a lot of stress and a lot of extra effort just to save your business, save your second home.
Around the corner, neighbors watched the clouds roll in and worry.
We're trying to get a sump pump or something like that. Hopefully there's some available, so we're just going to work on that for now. I just want to make sure we keep our family safe and our community together.
I'm never going to leave. I'll just sit on a porch, grab my beer and sit and wait for it to go down. It's the only thing you can do. Just make sure everybody's safe on the street. Right now we are on Somerset Street here in North Plainfield. It is closed, as you can see, at the moment because during the last storm the road was washed out by the raging nearby Stony Brook. So neighbors here are obviously hoping that the brook does not overflow again. We are live in North Plainfield, New Jersey. Nick Calloway, CBS News, New York.
All right, Nick, thank you for that update.
And we are seeing major delays at our local airports. Taking a live look at LaGuardia, where delays are averaging 2 hours, 30 minutes. It's even worse at JFK with 3 hours and 12-minute delays on average. Newark delays are averaging 3 hours, 38 minutes.
Do stay with CBS News New York as our meteorologists track the storms throughout the evening. You can also view our radar anytime at cbsnewyork.com.